Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So, the thing is, the spiritual path, it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy. Because according to the Course, you know, everything we experience is a choice. And that includes not just what happens outside, seemingly outside of us, but inside our feelings, our states. And the thing is, it's often an unconscious choice. That's how the ego operates, is it operates below the radar. So it can be really helpful there's many different spiritual philosophies out there that say, you choose whatever happens to you, you create your own reality. But it's really the Course in Miracles. It's the first teaching that's ever taught me that and pointed out that most of it is unconscious. So it's really important to, take our power back, literally, that we are the creators of our experience. And for those, if that's hard to believe or take in, at least to start with, we're the creators of our mood. And to not beat ourselves up, to recognize that a lot of these choices are choices that have been made in the past and or are happening in the present unconsciously. So that's because we don't want to be, that's victim, saying that things happen to us externally or that moods, emotions happen to us. My phone's ringing. I'm like, oh, I created that. Well, actually, I did create it because it's a telemarketer, and I signed up to get a free quote on to get my home refinanced about 4 months ago, and I've been getting calls ever since. Like, oh my god, because there's a moment of like, oh, why'd the phone have to ring now? That's what victimhood is this sense of like things happen for no reason, and not only no reason, but like I didn't cause that. When actually I really did. That's great. Um, so so here's another. The Course basically says if we fully wanted peace, it would be ours now. We're sons of God. We are we have power beyond our imagination, and to engage that power, we have to fully want something. Now it's very easy to tell whether what we fully want. Watch I watch my thoughts every day, and that tells me what I want. Where's my attention? Like on the, you know, how much of my day is focused on love and on God versus how much of my day is focused on, I wonder what that person said on Facebook, or, ooh, she's cute, or, oh, I can't believe Joe still hasn't paid me back the $17 from 17 years ago, Um, but yeah, the essence of the Course is, if we fully want something, it will be ours. And that what we have, not just externally, but internally, is actually a decision. And so the process of being led out of that, because basically the gig is we've chosen wrongly over and over and over and over and over, and we're in the habit of still choosing wrongly, and we need to be led out of that. In Hindu philosophy, it's just a basic tenet that you can't enlighten yourself. You need a guru. You need a liberated being to lead you out. It's just like it's just a fundamental principle. But here in the West, we've gotten into this idea of self-improvement, and somehow that's crept into like, I can enlighten myself, and good luck with that. But let me know how it goes from the psych ward. I'm speaking from experience. I've been in psych wards. Um, well, from trying to enlighten myself, the ego can't liberate itself. The Course makes that very clear. But it points out that Jesus can. It doesn't say that Christ is the only one who can. And here's what Christ has to say about how a good teacher leads one out of the web of suffering. How can you teach someone the value of something he has deliberately thrown away? He must have thrown it away because he did not value it. And that something in this case is God. So again, how can you teach someone the value of something he has deliberately thrown away? He must have thrown it away because he did not value it. You can only show him how miserable he is without it and bring it near very slowly so he can learn how this misery lessens as he approaches it. This conditions him to associate his misery with its absence and to associate the opposite of misery with its presence. It gradually becomes desirable as he changes his mind about its worth. So, some way, somehow, and the Course talks about it a little bit, we basically threw God away. We said, not only does God have no value, but we're going to keep God out. Like, I'm going to keep me in my little shell and keep God out no matter what. How and why that happened is an interesting topic. We can get into it in another video. And and that's not conscious. Most of that's not conscious. So Jesus points out, for someone who has not only thrown away, obviously we can't throw God away, but we can throw away the desire for connection with God, to be close to God. We can say no. And so then someone who has their whole life is committed to not, like every aspect of their being is committed to not experiencing peace and God and love. And that all this is going on, most of it's going on unconsciously. How do you help someone out of that situation? Well, the Course does it slowly but surely through the lessons. It very slowly gives us tastes of God and very slowly educates us about our thought system that's distanced us from God and that has drawn those conclusions that we want, that, these conclusions that, I've got to keep God away no matter what. So it's a very gentle process. Awakening can happen in a moment, and for many people it's a process that we have to be led out of because of twisted thinking, such as, I don't want God. I don't want to have anything to do with God. And this unconscious desire to be separate and miserable. And there is a way out. And of course, it's a very beautiful expression of that. Of course, it's not the only way out. Ramana Maharshi said it very clearly. He said there's only two ways: inquiry into your true nature or full surrender to God. Basically said every other way um, is just playing with the mind. Like, it'll subside the mind, but it won't destroy the mind's tendencies to create suffering and to create separation. So ultimately, we need to come down to surrender and or knowing ourselves, knowing our true nature, knowing that we actually are at peace. Always have been, always will be. And we need to be very gently and skillfully led there. Thanks. Thanks so much for joining in.